We are rolling.
All right, and we're back. Episode 3 of Behind the Deal today. Something a little different you're going to see behind the scenes, but specifically the subject of today is renovations, remodeling, home prepping, and everything in between. I've got 2 clients who are prepping homes. One's for a resale that'll be coming up in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Another one's a complete property flip. My client bought this property back in November last year and has completely gut renovated it. And it is he's on the kind of the last stretch the next few weeks. And he's very excited about the project, and it'll be a home that he'll be keeping for himself as like a secondary property. So we're gonna go check out both of those today, talk to you a little bit about renovations and remodeling, show you some of the behind the scenes there, and we'll see what happens. So let's head downtown Frederick. Okay, so this home right here, this greenhouse on this corner, is 101 West 4th Street. I sold this for my client that we're about to see back in April of 2025. We'll B-roll some clips of that because that was a super cool downtown property. I made a really long video on that, so we'll B-roll that here. But he sold that home, and he still loves downtown Frederick so much that he had to buy a home like 10 houses down, completely rip it apart and renovate it. So that's what we're about to go see. His name's Harvey. He's a great client, a good friend, and I'm very thankful that he's going to let us do this today. So, well, let's head inside. Let's go meet Harvey and check it out. Mr. Lynn, how are you?
How are you?
Wonderful.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
This is Harvey.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Stone, nice to meet
Good.
you.
Likewise.
I'm excited to see it. I haven't been here in what, 4 or 5 weeks? I think?
Yeah, Dave
been a while.
They've really made some great progress. So it looks different than what it did last November.
So I was telling him we recently sold 101 West 4th Street.
9 doors down.
Back in April 2025, and then not 6 months later, you're already on the hunt for something that was near and dear to your heart.
We're 6 miles up on the mountain. We love it up there, but I love downtown.
Yeah.
And I was down at Bushwallers. She owns this one as well.
Yes.
And a friend said, "Hey, did you see that house went on the market 9 doors down from the one you sold?" And I was like, "What's the address?" And on the way home, there was a big parking spot here, and Nazir pulled in, and I said, I motioned, I said, "I like it," and I bought it the next day.
Yep, we bought it the next day.
day.
All cash. There's
All
multiple
cash.
offers on it too. We weren't even the highest offer.
Yeah, no contingencies, no inspections, but it's just for a house that's over 100 years old, it needed some work. It was a project house.
Just a little.
Yes.
A lot of work.
A
ton of work. Well, and the problem was once you went from I'll do this, this, and this to then it just kept on growing and growing.
It was a full gut. I mean, as you know, the price, I knew it was priced as a project house.
Yeah.
And but once I got into it, I thought, well, let's take this wall down, and let's take this wall down. Let's remove this closet, and let's move the bathroom from one section of the house to another section of the house.
Yeah.
And you know me, I respect old homes, and I don't do contractor grade anything.
No.
A house of this, of this age, it deserves to really come back to full life, and that's what we've done. So we're about 80% complete as of today, August 5th, 2026, and so the plan is to Airbnb, and also a little diversifying investments, and downtown Frederick is a great investment town.
It is. Yes, it is.
And so I said, we're going to Airbnb it, but I've fallen in love with it so much. I said, well, you know what? The first year, it's just for us.
Yeah, I like that.
We're not going to Airbnb it until after we've enjoyed it for a year.
Yeah.
So with that said,
let's go check it
shall
out.
we go inside?
Let's do it.
I'm going to have to peel some of this back because I love the tile that we put down on this floor. So, see the tile.
Wow, that looks really good.
It really does, actually, but they were just painting in here yesterday, so they've been really professional in making sure. Oops.
That's never ever happened.
We don't know.
Basements. No monsters in this.
So this is the dungeon down here. And the only reason I want to show you this is I found this very interesting. What's interesting, so if you look at the land records online, the Real Property Search in Maryland, it shows this house being built in 1900. But when my contractor was working down here, he uncovered several areas where and we're still having trouble trying to decipher but there's a name or something up here, but then on 3 walls you see 1867.
It's very hard to see.
1867. And then over here, you can see it even a little bit better, 1867. What we've been told is at some point there was a fire in some of the government buildings, the city buildings, and maybe the original records were lost. I also heard that when they were developing Downtown Frederick back in the early days, they would have one contractor that would come in and build the foundation. You can see the original stone that we have. So that was his job or her job, probably his job back then,
yes,
to build the foundation. And then as they were progressing on each street, somebody else would come in and build everything above the foundation. So I refer to this kind of as the 1867/1900 house. This was the one and only bathroom, this space here. So we had a tiny, looked like an airplane sink right there. Had the toilet sitting here. Had a clawfoot bathtub sitting here. And when I first looked in here, I'm like, no, this is not gonna work. So I said, there's a bedroom over here. And to me, it was more like an office or a sewing room. I said, that's where we're gonna move the bathroom to. So that's exactly what we did. Of course, you gotta have a walk-in shower, right? Isn't that what everybody does?
Yep.
So you can,
yeah, this is awesome.
yeah.
Oh.
So you can see, so we gotta do that. And then, I think, let's use it.
That's a diverter.
Yeah, kind of got that angle on, so.
Very cool.
Looks a lot
This is
different.
sweet shower.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah. And I'm sure you're gonna do glass here, so you can just,
Yeah.
I like that.
And then that's for, shampoo and such. So, before we started redoing this, there was a board covering something. And I'm like, what is this? And my contractor, who's been great, he's like, there's a thing called a witch's window. It's seen in New England, and it's kind of like folklore, but in New England, for houses with some weird angles, when they would try to utilize some of the space to get some light to come in, they would stick these things in like this called a witch's window. And the folklore is very superstitious in New England, Salem and such, that they did this at an angle because if a witch is flying on a broom and comes straight in, it'll get knocked off before it can come in. So they do these on an angle so the witches can't come straight into the house. So you can research witch's window and you'll get some of the history on that.
I love that so much. So obviously this has been a very big project for you. And I find I get a lot of clients sometimes who have never done anything like this. Mm-hmm. And they have this vision of doing a complete gut remodel and renovations, which are really cool. And we'll be able to see this thing come to life, especially when they see the before after pictures of what this looked like a year ago compared to now.
Right.
And then compare to what it looked like in a couple months. It's absolutely 180-degree difference.
Yeah.
I guess, what would you say as someone who's now done a few projects in his life? You've built a whole brand new home up on the mountain. You've done this. You've done other renovation projects. I mean, you've been doing this for decades now.
Right.
What would you say is your biggest advice to someone who wants to get their hands a little dirty for doing a home renovation or a home remodel?
Yeah, that was easy. The first 2 words that came to mind is
Alrighty, so that was Harvey, one of my favorite clients ever. He's a great friend, and we've really bonded over the past 3 or 4 years. I actually met him at a local bar here, Firestones, for those of you who remember Firestones, and we kind of just hit it off, and saw him regularly every week, every other week, and he was interviewing, I think, 4 agents for his sale on 101 West 4th again, and decided to take a stab at working with me, and it's been phenomenal. We got over asking for his home, cash deal. It was phenomenal, and helped him purchase this one, so he'll be a lifelong client for sure. So we will be back at that home to see the before and after, because it's going to be really cool. It's going to be an awesome project. So we're headed down to Virginia now. I've got a meeting at noon at Fairfax, and then we'll be headed to a second property in Ashburn, Virginia, with a seller who's prepping a home there for resale. So let's head out. May was like the spring market, like it didn't like have like a huge pop like we thought it was going to, and then June hit, and it definitely like we felt like a big downshift, and then July was like, I talked to agents all over. July was like just flat. I mean, I've got I've got like 5 homes that are on market that were all 2019 or newer. They're basically newer construction homes, and they're getting like 1 or 2 showings a week, and they're just not getting the traction that we thought they were, and they're priced well. They don't need any work. They don't need anything. So any buyers that I talk to that are like even thinking about it, I'm like, listen, the rates still might be quote unquote high, but there's so much opportunity to negotiate seller credit. Do you want to get the appraisal? Get the appraisal. You want to get the inspections? Get the inspections. And like I've got clients actively on the market who are like, listen, like if we get an offer that's like half decent, like let's entertain it. Like we need to like try to get something moving. So I would tell any of those clients that you have that are trying to buy, you like lean into them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and I've said this before to people, but it's not like in my normal pitch. But yeah, if you're getting some seller credit and you don't like where your rate is, just get the seller to permanently buy down your rate. Because then it's like, all right, you're not paying for it, and you might get a 0.25% lower or something like that. And then you're still in a good spot where you didn't pay for it, so you could still refinance when rates come down, and it's not going to cost you anything extra.
Correct.
You know? So.
I've got a seller right now. Their home was built in 2022, and they've got a newer construction neighborhood just down the road for them. And they're like, the builders are offering all these incentives. So what we did is, we put their home at a good market price, but they're offering $18,000 in buyer credit, Matt.
That's crazy.
And like that's a ton of money. I mean, you can do a buy down. You can cover all your closing costs. Like, and again, the home doesn't need any work. The home is literally 4 years old. It needs nothing. And so, but they recognize that, So, we're waiting for a buyer to take advantage of that. But I'm telling you, man, if you've got a buyer who's half interested in a home,
where is it?
That one's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing local.
Yeah, because I have a client that's looking around like Mount Airy area.
I do think there are deals to be made. There's negotiations to be had, and a lot of sellers right now, especially if they've been on market for 30 days, they're willing to take a lower offer. But I mean, this isn't. No one's like, it's not like a fire sale. No.
I called the listing agent and I was like, I know what you're gonna say, but I just want to know if you have any other offers or what you're thinking about countering. And they were like, yeah, like. I'm embarrassed to show this to my client.
Right. Well, and it's hard for them to even get a counter. Like if it was at $595, he should have came in at like $555, and it's like, all right, we can have a conversation then. Like then they'll counter back at $580, $575. That's how it should work. But it's interesting because we had an offer on a listing that I had, and the offer came in low, asking 3% as well. And the home's immaculate, it's turnkey, we're listed right at the comps. And even the buyer's agent was like, listen, like, I know this is like a lower offer. I'm like, listen, we're happy to negotiate. We're happy to open conversations and talk about it. Here's what my client's willing to do. We're willing to give you this, and we're willing to go sell it at this. And their client like stood firm. And the agent on the other end was even like, I've told my client multiple times, like, this is a good deal. I'm not sure why he's doing this. And I've told him, you're not going to get a deal like this. So unfortunately, we had to let it go. But because for my sellers, they bought the home 4 years ago. And so they're like, well, we can't sell it for this because we're going to walk out of here with $5,000 in our pocket. And I'm like, I get that. And they're even willing to continue to talk about it. But the buyer was being unrealistic. So I am seeing a little bit of that, which is, I don't know what to make of it. All right, we're making a quick pit stop at One Loudoun. It's one of my favorite areas in Loudoun County, specifically Ashburn area. I think this is a phenomenal project. It's a mix of restaurants, bars, shopping, grocery, small businesses, a little bit of everything in between. But we're gonna stop here, get coffee, get a snack before we head to my next client and see how their home prep is going. The painters leave at 4 o'clock, so we'll be headed there soon to catch them on the way out. All right, prepping a new listing in Ashburn. We're really focused on making sure that we get the home prepared for sale. So what does that look like? This home was purchased in the early 2000s. They've lived in here for over 20 years. And so the finishes that were in the late 90s, early 2000s are completely different today. So we're making sure that we upgrade the painting, the hardware, the lighting, a little bit of everything. So let's go check it out. Hey, you're fine. You can see it. You're good. You're fine. You're fine. Looks good. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Looks really good. Wow, it looks so much brighter.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I'm sorry about that. I didn't know you guys were gonna.
Oh, you're fine. No, you're fine. No. This is showing the home and the changing.
No, that's
Because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
So it looks really good. You guys are moving fast. I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, looking really good. So this is done. The
Pretty-
living room's
pretty
done.
much-
Kitchen
Everything is pretty much done.
Okay.
Just upstairs.
upstairs.
The basement is done.
Basement's done?
Yeah.
Basement's probably the easiest one.
Yeah, that was easy too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was easy.
Cool. It looks good. Awesome. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the help.
Thank you.
So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Yeah,
Thanks.
take care. So, this is what the walls, the color of the walls look like. And so, make sure you take a look at this compared to, you can already see the transition happening, right? Which is a big difference. And, you know, when you're, we'll come this way. When you're living in a home for, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you forget how it looks because you're so used to seeing the same thing every time. So getting a second pair of eyes and a professional opinion on how to prepare it for sale is really, really important. So I had my clients paint, we're getting the carpets cleaned, replaced, we're getting them restretched, we're getting all the new hardware replaced. So there was gold fixtures. So if you look at this light fixture here, and you look at the light fixture over there, those were gold fixtures, which was in at the time 20 years ago, but now things are different. So we're going more monochromatic, silver, brushed nickel. It's gonna match all the refrigerators, all the appliances, dishwasher, ovens, stove, things of that nature. And it also, as you can see, it matches all the knobs on the kitchen as well. So we're trying to neutralize the space. When you're selling a property, it's really important to neutralize it, because the thing is that people want to come in and they want to feel that it's new, that it's fresh, and that it's a neutral palette. Everybody's got different tastes and flavors and styles. And when someone's buying a home, they're gonna see a nice canvas that they can work off of and bring their own style and touch to it. But right now, what's in when prepping a home is just neutral, neutral, neutral. Some people don't like it, but honestly, 95% of the market, that's what they're looking for, is this kind of finish. So it's important that we prep. Nice, so much better. Oh my gosh, so much better. So we're in the basement now, and this was another spot of the house. We had them paint, again, new fixtures. It's really important, and it doesn't feel like and seem like it makes a big difference, but I'm telling you, when the photos come out, when people come in here for showings, they're gonna notice, okay, everything's fresh, it feels new, it feels revitalized, which is super important. I always tell clients, your first showing isn't when people walk into the property. It's online where they're seeing the photos. If they don't like what they see and they don't seem impressed, they're not gonna be, the likelihood of them booking a showing is much lower. And so we want that first pop, that first impression online to be great, so that entices them to get in the house, get a showing done. And more showings means there's more interested buyers mean more potential offers. So, taking the money and investing into preparing a home is super, super important. And the great thing with obviously, the costs of things are getting more expensive. We know that. And so there's a lot of companies that are becoming a little smart with their approaching, allowing clients to pay for the finishes of painting, carpet, things of that nature at settlement. And so you could get all this done, have an agreement with a company, and the company says to you, hey, you don't have to pay us until after settlement, which is something that should be really taken advantage of by clients if you have the means and ability to get your home on market in a timely manner and get it sold in a timely manner. You could pay for this at settlement. We talked about the paint, and you can already see how much it's brightening up the home. You have a lot more natural light. And so it's really gonna change how it looks and feels in here. As soon as you walk in, the pictures are really gonna pop. We talked about the hardwares and fixtures, and that's not just the lighting, but it's everything from the door handles and the hinges. So if you look, these are new brushed nickel handles, and even the plates match. So it's very important to replace all that. Again, it's gonna give you that pop and that shine. So to show you what all the hardware used to look like, I don't know if you can get down here, Stone, but this door stopper, if you look really closely, I'll shine a little light on it. As you can see, that's more of like a gold, right? It's got a more gold finish. That's how all the lighting was in here. That's how all the hardware was in here. And again, at one point, that was the style, and that was in 20, 30 years ago. But now, that's not what's in. So we have to change it. It's really important, and it seems like a lot of work, but I'm telling you, a little bit of investment goes a very long way. So the other thing we're talking about, carpet. As you can see, this carpet, this is an old style carpet. It is not in anymore. So we're gonna completely uplift it, replace new carpet. The carpet people are gonna be in here in about 10 days. So you always wanna make sure you paint before you put carpet down, okay? Because if someone's painting and they don't put the runners down and spill paint somewhere or splash paint and it gets on your brand new carpet, that's not great. So get painting done first, then you get your carpet done. Okay, a lot of people screw that up sometimes, but you know, it doesn't matter when stuff's coming in. You got to do it in order of priority, and the priority is the paint to get that done, get it dry, get it perfect, and then you can get your flooring and carpet done. You don't want paint splatter on new carpet, new flooring. It's terrible. So we're getting new carpet here. We're getting new carpet upstairs. It's really important in preparation listing, so I cannot wait to see what this looks like here in about 2 weeks. We're also getting professional staging done as well. So a lot of this furniture is gonna be out of here. Some of it will stay, but most of what you're seeing here will be completely gone. Again, bringing in new furniture, fresh furniture, modernizing the space a lot. Almost forgot, the other thing that you definitely wanna do if you're in a home that's older is you wanna replace the outlet covers, the light switches, everything to make sure it's that nice white color. Because a lot of the times this stuff starts to fade from white to like almost yellow and it looks terrible. So make sure you're replacing the light covers and the light switches as well and the outlets, because if you don't, they're gonna see a fresh coat of paint and then a really dingy, ugly, yellow-ish off color on the wall. It completely throws everything off. All right, we made it back to Frederick. That's gonna wrap up today's video. Again, the focus was just behind the scenes on, you know, homes that are being prepared, remodeled, everything in between. You should see, just seen a lot of good stuff today, but I wanna make sure that everybody's taken away with this note. If you're preparing to sell a home, take the time, prep it, get it staged, get it painted, get it cleaned, everything in between. It makes a massive, massive difference to the success of your home sale. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment what you want to see. I need to see some information and some ideas on content that you want, and we'll bring it to you. So thank you guys for coming. Catch you in the next video.